Hello, and welcome to Week 3, Unit 7 of our Open SAP course, Developing SAP Fiori Apps. I'm Mark Fogel, an architect on the SAP Cloud Platform SDK for Android team. In the previous unit, we learned about developing iOS apps. In this unit, we'll first look at creating native Android apps using the Android SDK and the SAP Fiori Mentor app. Then we'll look at the Mobile Development Kit, or MDK, and how it can be used to create cross-platform mobile applications. So let's get started. The SAP Cloud Platform SDK for Android implements the SAP Fiori for Android design guidelines. These combine the best of SAP Fiori design with Google Android Material Design. We provide a type system based on the SAP 72 font, the SAP Fiori colors and iconography, as well as a set of UI components and the patterns for using those components. We also provide a set of sketch stencils for designers. The SAP Cloud Platform SDK for Android integrates seamlessly with native Android technologies such as the Android Developer Studio, where the SDK wizard provides the ability to generate Java or Kotlin applications with generated OData proxy classes for connecting with SAP S/4HANA or other SAP or third-party applications. It also provides an optional reference UI using the Fiori UI language. Other components such as user onboarding, networking and authentication, and client storage and cache are provided as well. Now let's take a look at SAP Fiori for Android in action. Now, the best way to experience the SAP Fiori for Android design is with the SAP Fiori Mentor app, which can be downloaded from the Google Play Store. So once that's installed, and this will run on any Android device running Android version 6 or higher, but you're going to want to run it on a tablet to get the full experience. So once installed, you can use that to explore various aspects of the SAP Fiori for Android design, such as the colors, the icons, the 72 font family, as well as UI patterns using the UI controls. So you can see how best to combine those controls to produce a well-designed and well-functioning application. There's also a link for the SAP Cloud Platform SDK for Android download, as well as some tutorials on the developers.sap.com website. But the most interesting feature is certainly the UI components. So this allows us to see on an actual device how the UI components function and how they'll appear and how they'll behave if we turn various features on or off. So this is an object header. Let's go ahead and remove the KPI view and remove a couple of those tags to see how that looks. Let's take a look at another control. Let's look at a profile header. So this is a UI control used to display information about a person. And the nice thing about the Fiori Mentor app is it allows you to see how the controls are going to look on either a phone or a tablet. So here we're seeing the phone. Let's switch to tablet. That's how this control will look on a tablet. Now let's turn a few of these features off. So let's go ahead and change that detail image to a detail image character and remove a couple of those actions to get that down to a manageable number. And then when we press the C code button, we're going to see Kotlin, Java, and XML code to generate that control and to give it the appearance that we've just created in the Fiori Mentor app. So what I'm going to do now is switch over to the Android Studio. And we'll take a look at an application that I created just with the standard Android Studio wizard. So we're going to make a few changes to this because this is what it looks like right now. It's got the Google default colors and just a basic Hello World app. So let's go ahead and add in a dependency to the SAP Cloud Platform SDK for Android Fiori component. And then let's change the app theme to use the Fiori theme instead of the standard app theme. And then let's go ahead and remove those purple colors that we saw. So if we just remove these colors here, then we'll use the colors from the Fiori theme instead. So if we just make those basic changes and then relaunch the application, we should see an immediate difference, which is we'll see the use of the SAP Fiori colors, and then we'll also see the Fiori 72 font being used. So already we can see some of the SAP Fiori design peeking in there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back over to the SAP Fiori Mentor app and take this XML. So this is layout XML. And we're going to press share code. Now, if I were on an actual Android device, I would need to send this to Google Drive or Gmail in order to transfer it over to my device. But since I'm on the emulator, I can just actually copy it to the clipboard. And then once that's done, I can go back over to Android Studio and paste it in directly. So if we do that, that's all we need to do to replace just the Hello World template with our profile header. Now, if we go ahead and relaunch the app, we should immediately see the profile header appear. And this should have the same appearance that we configured in the SAP Fiori Mentor app. So there's our profile header coming up. And then if we switch back over to the Fiori Mentor app, you can see it appears exactly the same. So now let's go back to our presentation. So that about wraps things up for the SAP Cloud Platform SDK for Android. And now here's Bill to talk about the Mobile Development Kit.
Thanks, Mark. My name is Bill Freilich, and I am the product owner for the Mobile Development Kit. In the second half of this week's unit, I will be providing an introduction to the Mobile Development Kit and how it can be used to build cross-platform applications. Let's get started. The Mobile Development Kit allows developers to rapidly build cross-platform native Android and iOS mobile applications that are aligned with the SAP Fiori design principles using easy-to-learn visual drag-and-drop environment. It includes visual editors to help you design your application screens, control layouts, and business logic flow. The resulting application utilizes the SAP Cloud Platform SDKs for Android and iOS native platform controls for an amazing user experience. It also leverages the SAP Cloud Platform Mobile Services enterprise features, such as user onboarding, secure access to your enterprise backend data, push notifications, log uploads, and easy lifecycle management without having to deploy the application each time to your mobile devices. Development of your MDK application is done using the web-based Web IDE or Business Application Studio editor. An MDK editor extension provides additional functionality such as wizards, application templates, drag-and-drop UI controls, and codeless building blocks that work together to quickly and easily create your mobile application. In addition to its robust offline and online capabilities, access to mobile qualities, such as the camera and barcode scanner, deliver a true cross-platform native support. The first application developed using the Mobile Development Kit is SAP Asset Manager. Asset Manager is designed for asset-intensive industries such as utilities. Customers can easily configure the application and tailor it to their specific business needs using the Mobile Development Kit. With cross-platform native development, you use the MDK editor to create your application once and deploy it to Android and iOS. Now, let's take a look at the Mobile Development Kit in action. We'll start by taking a look at our Mobile Development Kit application running in both our Android client, shown here on the left, and our iOS client on the right. Both clients look almost the same, where the controls being displayed are actually the native controls from the SAP Cloud Platform SDKs for Android and iOS respectively. The application functionality is broken up into a couple different sections. We've got an object header just to give us some information. We're showing some days left in the quarter and what quarter we're currently in. We're also showing the 4 customers and we have a list of promotional items that we can use to drill into details for that particular item, as well as we can edit the items if needed by clicking on the edit in the upper right corner. We also have a list of all of our products that we can access by clicking on the link there below the promotional items, and then we can scroll through this list to see all the different items that are in the system. The iOS client works exactly the same way. Clicking on the item, promotional item, brings up the details. We have an edit link in the upper right corner where we can view a screen to make changes to the product. And we have the All Products link below the promotional items to show the list of products where we can scroll through and drill into and look at details on any of the items if we want to. For the customers, we can drill into the customer details, taking a look at their address information and a list of orders. So we can see the order, we can drill into that order, see the items, the totals for that order. We can also drill into the product that was ordered to see details for that specific product. And again, iOS works the same way. Clicking the customer drills into the customer details, and we can drill from there into the orders and down into the items as well, and back to the overview page. So that's a brief look at the application. Now, let's go ahead and make a change. We're going to go ahead and add a page to show not just for customers, but all of our customers. And to do this, we're going to start by switching over to the Web IDE editor, running with the MDK extension. I've got my application loaded up. On the left-hand side, you see the Mobile Development Kit application. You see all the different components in that application. We're going to start by adding a new page for our customer list. So you can see I've got a Pages folder, and underneath there, I've got a subfolder for our customer pages. We're going to right-click on that and select New MDK Page. For this page, we're going to use a section page. So we'll click on Section Page. We'll click on Next. And then we'll specify the name. We'll call it Customer List. We'll click Next and Finish, and the editor will go ahead and create that page template, and it'll open it up so that we can modify it and add controls. In the Layout Editor, you see here on the left all the different controls organized by groups where we can expand those out, and these are all controls that we can drag and drop onto our page. In the middle, we have a preview, and on the right, we have all the properties for the page or the specific control that's been selected. We'll start by modifying the caption for our page. Instead of calling it Customer List, we'll just call it Customers. And then for a control, we're going to go ahead and drag and drop that contact cell table from the compound section onto the page. So in the preview there, it will show a preview of that control, and on the right, the properties will now be specific to that contact cell table control. First thing we're going to do is bind the target, which is where the data is going to come from. We're going to select that service. This is our service for our application. And we have a list of entities that we can get data from. In this case, we're going to use our customers entity. The query options allow us to filter and sort and determine exactly what data is returned. We're going to let the defaults apply, but we are going to go ahead and order it by the last name. So we'll click on the Order By for Last Name, and we'll say OK. For the actual properties that you see on the preview area, we're going to go ahead and bind those to properties in our customer's entity. We'll start with our headline. We'll click the link icon to the right to bring up the object browser, where we can scroll down and pick any of the properties from our customer entity. In this case, we're going to use our last name. And we're also going to use the first name here for the subheadline. So we'll go back in there for that as well and specify the first name. And then the description, we'll go ahead and use the city. So we'll bind that to the city. And then last, we have our detail image. And for that, we have an existing rule that we're already using from our overview page that we'll reuse here. Clicking the object browser, we can switch the drop down to filter it by rules, and we'll use our Kit Customer Image rule. Next, on the right-hand side of the contact cell, we have activity items, and these activity items allow us to interact with the mobile qualities on the device. And in this case, we can set up different activities for things like making a phone call. So I'm going to select the first one to be a phone call, and we're going to bind that to the phone number of our customer. The second one we'll use as email, and we'll bind that to the email address. And the last one, instead of a detail, we're going to switch that to be a message. And we'll bind that to the phone number so that we can SMS message the customer if we want. All three of these activity icons will invoke the dialer for the device, the email application on the device, or the SMS application on the device, natively on both iOS and Android. Now that we've set up all of those bindings, let's go ahead and do one more thing on our page, and that's when we have a list of customers, if we want to see more detail about them, we're going to want to drill into the detail for that customer. To do that, we'll set the events for the contact cell. When I tap on it, we're going to go ahead and display the customer detail page. Now, we already have that page created, so we can simply use the object browser to select the Show Customer Detail action, which will display that detail page that we saw off the main overview page of the application. Our page is created. Let's go ahead and save that. Next, we need to add an action to display this page. So similarly to adding a page, we'll go to our Actions folder. For our customer, we'll right-click and say New MDK Action. You'll see the wizards for all the different action types that we can create in our MDK application. For this, we simply need a navigation action. So we'll select Navigation Action, click on Next, give it a name, Show Customer List. And for the page to open, we'll use our object browser and select the page that we just created, our customer list page. We'll say OK, and we'll click on Next and Finish, and the wizard will automatically create that action for us. The last step we need to do is to provide a way to get to this list from our overview page. So to do that, we're going to open up our overview page, and this is the page that we were looking at when we were going through the functionality of the application. You can see here for my customers section in the middle, we're going to go ahead and add a footer. So we're going to open up the section bar control palette and drag in that footer control. And on the properties for that, we're going to specify the caption to be See All. We'll specify an accessory type of disclosure indicator for iOS. And then what happens when we tap on that, we'll go back to our events and we'll set the on press to point to that new action that we just created. So we'll go into the object browser and we'll select our Show Customer List action. We'll click on that, say OK, save that change. At this point, we've made the changes. Let's go ahead and deploy it and take a look at it running in our clients. I'll right click and say Deploy and Activate. I'll click on Next and click on Next. Because we've previously deployed this, it knows exactly where to deploy this in mobile services. And at this point, the WebID editor will go ahead and take all of our application definitions. It's going to go ahead and bundle those together and take that bundle and automatically upload that to mobile services for our application into the app update so that the clients can automatically receive that without having to reinstall a new version of the client. So the bundle will take just a few seconds here. It's going to go ahead and create that bundle and do the upload. And when it's done, we'll see some notifications telling me that it's complete along with the version number. You can see the build's done. It's now going ahead and doing the upload, and its version 15 is now available. So if we switch back to our client here, we can have the client look for new definitions just by putting it temporarily into the background. It'll automatically trigger a check. The client also checks periodically as it's running, as well as at launch. So you can see that prompted me. It said it found new definitions. I say OK, and the new definitions are loaded. We didn't have to reinstall the client, and we have our change. We have our See All footer. Clicking on that See All footer brings up our list of customers, and we have the icons, the activity icons to jump in and call, email, or message that particular customer. Same thing here on the iOS side. The See All brings up my list of customers. I can then have the activity icons, and we can also drill into those customers. So there's a quick look at your mobile development kit application running cross-platform on both iOS and Android, making that change and deploying it out to both clients. Sign up for a free trial account to get started creating your own Android SDK and mobile development kit applications. Check out our learning journeys and our developer tutorials for additional assistance in getting started. In this unit, we learned about the SAP Fiori for Android design language, how we can use the SAP Cloud Platform SDK for Android to build delightful mobile applications, and how the SAP Fiori Mentor app can be used to explore the Fiori UI components. We finished up with the mobile development kit and how we can use that to build cross-platform native mobile applications. We hope you have enjoyed this week's units and look forward to seeing you again next week when we talk about managing SAP Fiori. Thank you.